Hey, beautiful souls. Welcome to Dear Heavenlee's podcast, a space where faith gets real, healing is raw, and love is God led. I'm your host, Heavenly Edwards, here to share my journey of walking in purpose, trusting God, and growing through every season. Life isn't perfect, but His plans always are. So, let's talk, heal, and rise together. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Jeremiah 29:11. So let's really just cut into this whole podcast. Episode 1. Who is Heavenly? That seems like the main question I feel like everybody been asking me. So I'm going to give you exactly who I am. I am a 22-year-old pre-veterinary medicine major at Delaware State University. I am a God girl all around. And let me just really dive into what really makes up who Heavenly is. The first thing I want to say is what really led me to become a pre-vet major. It all started when I was like 8 or 6. This is actually a funny story too, I'm not gonna lie. But I was at my uncle's house one day, and I happened to go with my 2 cousins to this corner store to get something to eat, and I happened to see a baby squirrel laying on the ground. And I remember I was crying to my cousins. I was like, y'all, like, we need to help this squirrel. Like, this squirrel's injured. And they was looking at me crazy like, girl, you want to help a baby squirrel laying down? Like, girl, what's wrong with you? But I knew wholeheartedly, like, that was just something that God pulled me on to take upon my heart. It was like, in a sense, a burden that God placed on me. And ever since then, I told myself I would never fail in life and never fail animals in general. Like, I always felt like my calling was always to help the things that cannot speak, literally. I genuinely feel like I am the voice of animals and things around the world that cannot speak or that's unheard. And ever since then, from that point forward, I always took it upon myself to just go hard in life for not myself, not just my siblings or my mother or just family. I always took it upon myself to go harder for the animals in this world that cannot fight for themselves. So I always used to watch this show as a kid. I believe it was on Nickelodeon called Zaboomafoo. I don't know if you guys ever heard that, but long story short, it's this lemur that was a stuffed animal. And every single time you were saying Zaboomafoo or you would talk about an animal around the stuffed animal, it will come alive, like an actual lemur will come alive. And the whole show basically would talk about certain animals. So like say if you wanted to talk about a tiger, they will bring a tiger, an actual tiger on the show, and break down to you what do tigers eat and how to take care of a tiger and, you know, certain diseases that tigers would get. And as a kid, I used to literally come straight off the school bus, wouldn't even think about school homework. Like my first thought was, Mom, Zaboomafoo came on, put it on. And literally that's the first thing I would think about is watching that. So animals always been a passion for me. Like it never ran dry within me. So that's another reason why I chose to major in this major. I literally, as y'all hear me saying it back to back, I love animals. I do want to become exotic wildlife veterinarian. I always had a passion for big animals, so like wildcats, elephants, giraffes, you name it. Like any exotic animal that we do not see every day, that's what I want to work with. Another thing that I could say about myself, I'm very big on drawing. Like, drawing always been a passion of mine. I always took drawing as a serious talent of mine. Like, as a kid in middle school, I used to always win drawing competitions in school. I remember one time, I believe I was in 5th grade, they had a drawing competition, and you had to draw thing 1 and thing 2. And I remember I came in 1st place. And I won like this big old art kit full of like drawing pencils. And I thought I was a stuff back then, y'all. Y'all couldn't tell me nothing. And I just felt like ever since then, drawing always been something that I could always tell people, like, if vet don't work out, drawing can. Another thing I can say is I'm very big on singing. I used to always be in singing groups with my little cousin. Even when I thought I could hit a little 2-note as a kid, couldn't do it. But when I started to hit like 10 years old, I started to take singing very, very seriously. I used to be in choir in church, and My cousin used to make sure, y'all, we was at church crack of dawn. Do y'all hear me? She would make me go on the mic first. And if I couldn't hit a note, she would make me walk around the whole church until I got that note right. And I thank God for it. I pray that God continues to keep blessing her abundantly. She used to push me so hard. It used to be times where I would sit in church and be so lost and be so mad at myself for not being able to hit a note. And now you can't tell me to stop hitting a note. So church and just singing just goes well together with me. Like, you just can't tell me nothing. Songs, I feel like me singing in general is like my at-home remedy. Like, when I'm sick, I sing. Like, everything plays a part with me with singing. Another thing I could say by myself that ties into singing, I'm big on God, and God is big on me. One thing about me that I could say when it comes to God, God never showed me that he wouldn't show up for me. Like, every given situation, every hard challenge that was ever thrown in my life, God showed up every time. And I'm not even going to say on every time of what I want him to show up or what time I want him to show up for me, but he showed up every single time. And I felt like God is the true definition of I will show up, but also show out for my kids. And being somebody that went through a lot of things as a kid and everything, where people used to always tell me, like, you should just give up and just throw in the towel and, leave this face of earth. And God always gave me a reason to never listen to the voices that you hear in your head or listen to what people try to install in you. And in fact, I am one of God's chosen children, and I'm so grateful for that. Like, I will forever continue to give God the most highest praise. Literally, like, he done saved me from self-harm. He saved me from depression. He saved me from insecurities. Like, do y'all hear what I'm saying? Like, please listen to what I'm saying to y'all. Like, God is that man for real. He will forever be my father, will forever be by my corner in any given situation. God's been with me since I was in my mother's womb and still with me. And I'm in college. In fact, the last year of college. And he ain't never gave me a reason to ever stop trusting him. And I will tell you the same thing, to always, always, always put your full trust in God. You can literally never go wrong giving it all to God. When you give it to God, you can't lose. You literally cannot lose. So please keep God first in your life, please. Another thing about me, I'm laughing because my friends get so tired, y'all, when I bring this up, but I love Chris Brown. Y'all got to get that down. Y'all have to take note. One thing about Heavenlee, if you don't want nothing else within this whole video besides I love God and I love animals, baby, I love C Breezy down bad. Baby, I've been a part of Team Breezy since a kid, and I ain't never leaving. Do you hear me? I'm not taking no Team Breezy slander, no nothing. Y'all can go pack that up and send that back to the door. Do you hear me? But on a serious note, though, I love Chris Brown. He has just always been an artist that I can always say that I can relate to when it comes to music. He has so many different talents that I love. Graffiti is another love language to me. I love it. I love artwork. I just love artwork. And Chris Brown just knows how to hit everything for me. Literally one of my top favorite artists when it comes down to it. I would say my second favorite artist would be Nipsey Hussle. I love Nipsey down bad. I actually have a tattoo of him on my arm. I also love, who else can I say? Murray. He's a great rapper. When it comes to female, I'm going to go old back, like old school. I'm going to say Aaliyah. I love Aaliyah, y'all. Like, I really do love Aaliyah. I love Whitney Houston. Like, oh, baby. Whitney Houston, baby, is going to do it for me every time. Every time. Every time. And then I think the last female I want to do would have to be I'm going to say it's between Rihanna or Keke Palmer. Out of them two. What else I could say for y'all? It's a lot of things, y'all. That's the reason why I keep saying it's a lot of things I could talk about for real within this first podcast of Who is Heavenly. It's a lot of things that make up who I am. I don't play about a lot of things, but I do play about a lot of things. Another thing that I love to do is laugh. Y'all, please keep the jokes coming. I love to laugh. Like, you could be so serious talking to me, and I would still bust out a laugh. I apologize in advance. I really do. But y'all, laughing keeps me going. It really does. It really do, for real. I'm a person that's very big on family. I love my family down bad. I love my siblings. I'm really not myself if I'm not with my siblings. Like, my siblings make up who I am, a part of me, 50% of who I am. Without them, there really wouldn't be who y'all see as Heavenly. Y'all wouldn't see Heavenly with a passion for animals. Like, my sisters and my brothers literally motivate me. Literally. They're literally a part of my why of everything in life. I love my friends that keep me going at school. I love that Bible too, because that Bible is also my friend. Hello. But I just love people that love me. Even the people that don't love me, I still love you. I always been somebody that always was taught to give love to the people that may not understand what love is. And that is something that I feel like every day God is showing me to work harder and stronger on, is giving love to people even when you don't feel like you receive the love. So I advise y'all to really do better and just push yourself to love everybody, regardless if it's a hater, regardless if it's a stranger. It don't even take long for you just to go out to a stranger and be like, hey, I just love you. You know, I just want to let you know that you look beautiful today. Have anybody told you that? I love your hair today. I love your sneakers. I love how you carry yourself. Just them little words can go so far for someone out here. Literally, the school that I go to, y'all, it's so many beautiful souls on this campus, and yet we do not know what everybody is going through. So please, before you even get ready to say anything that might be spiteful or you're going off emotion, go off of God. Move with the Spirit of God. Move with intentions of being pure. Do y'all guys hear me? Stick true and stay true to yourself. Never try to portray to be somebody else. Be authentically you. You can never go wrong with that. And another thing about myself I could tell you guys is that I am, what can I say to y'all? Oh, this is so corny, but at the same time, I feel like this is so necessary for me to state. I love to listen to jazz music. Jazz music and journaling, to me, is chef kiss. You cannot go wrong with journaling. Right now, something in the vibe is just right. I love to write down stuff. I just love writing. I really do. I feel like it helps me escape from the real world and just really tap in with my mind. Like, to really dive deeper into how my mental works. It really does help. But I really do think that is everything I have to say to you guys. So with that being said, that's a wrap for this episode of Dear Heavenlee. I pray this conversation spoke to your heart, reminded you of God's love, and gave you the courage to keep walking in your faith. Remember, healing takes time, growth is a journey, and God's plan is always greater than our pain. So, on another episode of Keeping It Real and Keeping It Heavenly, if this episode blessed you, be sure to subscribe, share, and connect with me on all your socials. Until next time, stay rooted in faith, wrapped in grace, and always heavenly. Peace.